What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm excited. Hey, I'm with my guy right now, Eagle Session, aka Gal Saunders. Hey, let's get into it, man. Hey, it's been a busy day around the whole NFL. All right, so let them know real quick who you are, where to find you, and let's start talking.
Gail Saunders, Eagles content creator, Fourth and John. That's where we talk about the Eagles 24/7. It is a lifestyle. Doing this every day, all day. Always a good time talking about Eagles with the community. Always a good time connecting with all you other content creators out there. I know today has just been an amazing day of information flowing. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I've been nervous all day long because I've been hearing so much crap, and I'm trying to weed through the information, and some stuff I couldn't even tell people, and just even my own guys, I'm like, yo, I can't tell you. That's how it works, man. People trust you with information not to tell, but here we are. I mean, we're at the 53, so we're at the soft 53, whatever you want to call that. It's not the full 53.
Especially not with the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman. We already know that. Period. Matter of fact, the first topic I want to talk about is this guy, Cam Newton, right? Is there any chance Joe Flacco get cut and Howie Roseman pick up Cam Newton?
Well, I heard earlier today that the Eagles were actually sniffing around Cam Newton. They were sniffing. I think the thing with Howie Roseman, people don't realize he does his, he does this due diligence. So he's, always asking questions, always around. So from the agent friends list, they have been, they have been talking out there, so I'm just listening. So anything I hear, I try to share with the homies.
Yeah. Look, I don't think there's no way. Now, if we didn't have Minshew, then I would say, okay, hey, we might get Cam Newton, to back up Jaylen Hurst and stuff like that. But I feel like with Minshew, the trade happened with Minshew and Joe Flacco. We paid him a little bit of money to be a backup, which he might be a third string, sooner or later. But hey, who knows? But I don't think that Cam Newton is on the table at all.
I'm a pass. The Cowboys are in on Cam Newton, I feel like, and that's been reported out there.
Yeah.
But overall, just if you can get a guy like that to be a backup, you have to figure out if he wants to be come in as a backup, or is he trying to come in as try to be a starter. And Cam Newton as a backup, I don't think he sees himself as a backup, but overall, he lost out to Mac Jones, and deservedly so. Mac Jones looked good in preseason. So it is what it is. So
you see, I just think the only thing that I don't like about the whole Cam Newton getting cut today, you see, he has no time to go to another team and learn the offense before the season starts next weekend, and there's no time.
Yeah, I think, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's that move was a move by the Patriots saying that we're done with your drama. They're like, nah, we're good. Cutting Cam Newton is yeah, we're good, and plus he's not vaccinated, so it's another issue that you have to think. And it's not even where you stand on the back. It is what it is in the NFL. If you're not vaxxed up, you can either be, you don't even have to have COVID. If you're on this list, you could be held out longer. If you're not, if you're vaccinated, it's only a couple of days here. So we're talking about losing. You can't lose a quarterback for that long.
You can't. No, you cannot. Hey, let's talk about Jaylen Hurst. He's finally look. The Philadelphia Eagle fans are not stupid. We knew that Jaylen Hurst was going to be a starter. He's the only quarterback on the team that took all first team reps. Nobody else did. So for Nick to come out today talking about, he's been the only quarterback that's taken all first team reps, so he automatically knew. No. Why did you come out and say that he was your starter and put the Philadelphia Eagle fan at peace. Like, and you know how we are. Deshaun Watson was looming the whole offseason, the whole preseason, even till now, until he came out yesterday and say, I don't want to go to Philly. I'm not going to waive my trade clause. I'm not going to Philly. That's when Harry was like, okay, we lost. Go ahead. Hey, just name him his starter.
Well, the things I heard about Deshaun Watson is that the Eagles, they did have interest, but they didn't have interest as the way as they didn't have interest as the way it was being reported.
Yeah.
They weren't as thirsty as the media was making it look like they were, but they did have interest. But I feel like, Deshaun Watson, I thought the whole issue was just a lot of, I don't think our fan base wants to deal with that. I'm not taking away from any of his talents, but I'm just saying I don't think our fan base wanted to deal with that. But in regards to Jaylen Hurts, I'm all for, it's all about competition.
Yeah.
It's all about pushing your young quarterback. Obviously he knew he was the QB1 in that room. I don't think he needed Sirianni to tell him that right away. It's new coach, new system, new scheme, new whole vibe. But I feel like he knew that. So it's just a matter of some people might call it disrespect. I feel like it's all coach. I mean he's a coach's kid, right? So he knows when a head coach is trying to push a player. So Jaylen Hurts, man, that dude is QB1 in his heart anyway. So he knew, and he's showing that.
Yeah, and my only thing with that, him not with Nick not coming out with saying that he's a starter is because of how he rolls with. I don't trust him. He's like a little sneaky little snake. Like he's always planning behind your back, regardless of what you think. You're never safe. If you're a Philadelphia Eagle player, you're not safe at all. So that's the only reason why I feel like that he should have came out and said, hey, that Jaylen Hurts is my starter. I mean, how much grain of salt we're going to take with that? Who knows? Like, still. But yeah, I mean, we all knew that he was a starter, with no doubt. But Howie Roseman is the only reason why the Philadelphia Eagles fans is always on pins and needles.
Well, I mean, there's just been a lot of there's always, you just have to know that Howie's he's working the phones.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that I'm hearing right now is just like, I can't even. That's why I can't even focus. I couldn't even focus at work. Like I'm sitting here trying to do work and I can't even focus because all this stuff, all this rumorville is like out there right now. So it's just a matter of like what's gonna happen next and how is this? What is the final 53? Yes. Like I didn't think I could sleep last night. Tonight I'm like, I can't even.
All right, so without giving us any secrets, is Zach Ertz going to be on the team on the 53-man roster? Right now, he made it. Trade, but there's a lot of tight ends that's going down around the league.
And the way that it's set up, anytime you have 4 tight ends on your roster, this is what I previously the last couple of weeks. I said I'm keeping 4 tight ends on the roster. People are like, why are you going to keep 4 tight ends? Because like I'm keeping 4 tight ends because of the eventual trade that could transpire, and you keep Zach Ertz dangling. Tight end 1 is Dallas Goedert. Mm-hmm. Tight end 1 in our hearts is Zach Ertz. Make it make sense when you look at the money and the way my bank account is set up and my Kevin Hart voice. There's something. We don't just 8.5 for tight end 2.
Yeah, no, you don't. You do not.
I mean, you just but if you want to keep him around, I'm okay with it. Like it's not my money, it's not my money. So I just feel like right now we have a nice 1-2 punch, but Richard Rodgers could be we'll sign you back soon. Stoll showed too much, and Tyree Jackson showed too much as a developmental piece. So,
absolutely. Yeah, with Tyree Jackson, I mean, if you listen to the press conference today from Nick, he said this guy was a quarterback last year. He was a quarterback, and then to come and
Buffalo.
do as good as he did as a tight end. You know what I mean? So it kind of like wowed everybody. So I think Tyree Jackson is on the team, like in
Yeah.
regards.
You look at Logan Thomas. It's you see Washington, what they did with their tight end. I mean, a former quarterback for Virginia Tech, had the size, and here he is, their tight end. Here we go. I mean, even um, like him being a quarterback at what was University of Buffalo, and then getting that opportunity. He's got that size, man. You like, and then if you needed an emergency quarterback, I know that his quarterback days are over, but
Yeah.
overall, just having a guy on that roster who flashed in camp, and I'm not gonna say he's what's his name, Jimmy from the Saints went to the Seahawks.
Oh, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. Like people were like, yo. Like I look at the people in the crowd at open practice, like, yo, is he giving you Jimmy Graham vibes? I'm like, I mean, you could say
I don't
raw with
know.
the size, like he's got the size, but I'm not gonna. The athleticism
Yeah.
of Jimmy Graham was, a little bit more because he's a basketball player as well, wasn't he, Jimmy Graham?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He
But
was.
he's definitely flashed. And Stoll as a, you saw Stoll. They tried to feed him. He was out there,
Yeah.
and I was impressed. So you start looking at the back end of your tight end group. That's nice. Those are nice pieces to develop.
Yeah, I agree. Look, all right. Look, before we move on, man, I had to do this because there's a lot of people that don't understand why. Wait for it. This guy made the team. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, the Philadelphia. Yo, I can't stop laughing. But they hate this that Fulgham got cut and JJ is still on the team. Look, I'm sorry, but I called it. I've been saying all on that JJ will make the team because from the jump, it was him and Zach Hurst. Like, and from the jump of training camp, I was like, JJ's gonna make the team. And then you didn't hear nothing about Fulgham, nothing about Hightower because he was hurt. So how surprised are you that JJ, he made the team?
I'm not really surprised. I felt like from a consistency standpoint, he's been more consistent than Fulgham. He's been more consistent than Hightower. And like, previously, like I had gotten word that, especially where I heard it from, I was like, like if that's, I can't say where I heard it from, but, just talking about Hightower as a professional, you're just like, I was like, okay. I was like, maybe he's not making the roster because, we didn't see the consistency at the catch point. We saw, he flashed, but didn't flash enough.
No.
We know that he can separate. And then you go back to Fulgham, this opportunity with Devontae Smith going down, you'd think he'd step up and really take advantage of all those extra snaps. That didn't happen. I was there at a couple joint practices where he, did he flash? I wouldn't say flash. He made a nice catch that I recorded. I put it out there on Twitter, but he made a couple nice catches. But again, we're talking about consistency, and we're talking about him as a. This is the second part of being the next level as a professional, where you have to like really, the mental has to meet the preparation, and it all has to come together nice. You got to be confident. You got to show up day in and day out, and you have to do what they ask. So whether it was Hightower, whether it was Fulgham, the Eagles, he did get cut from 3 different teams now. So there's a reason why you get cut from 3 different teams. So now J-Jaw, you also have the backing of Lurie. If Lurie was really the one that pushed that pick, that's his guy. Howie, that's his guy. Like you're cutting a second round pick here. So they're utilizing him in the slot. If he's your big slot, him making the team in the last game, making that
amazing catch.
But still, I'm still hearing other things. So it's not even like like
No,
the
yeah.
53 is solid. So I mean, there's talks about the Eagles going after Christian Kirk from the
What?
Cardinals.
For the
Yeah,
Cardinals?
from the Cardinals.
What?
Around there, Jerome Allison, another guy. Um, Brashad Perriman's out there. So you're talking about guys that who could, upgrade the back end and give you something vertically. Perriman give you that. I know Kirk also could work the slot. So there's the J Jaw thing is not final, but I understand why he's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's been more consistent than those two. So
I mean, at least doing training camp because the regular season, Fulgham outperform him, all day, every day. But hey, and that's why people want to know. JJ show flashes in training camp, but it can't relay to the regular season, and that's the problem. Yeah, we always hear this about JJ every year. That's why he's still on the team. 4 or 5 years later, like 4 years later, he's still on the team.
but is he's playing special teams as well. So it's
Yeah, see, that's
not
true.
like if Fulgham is ass on special teams and
Yeah,
as the fifth wide receiver on the squad right now, Greg Ward, special teams, emergency QB if you need him.
yeah.
It is what it is, but it's just like you gotta be able to show more on special teams if you're in the 4 or 5 wideout. It's just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really think that that the Eagles will have 6 wide receivers. I really feel like whatever you've been hearing is in the works, probably somewhere, and they gonna have 6 wide receivers because if we go 4 wide, and now you're taking a chance because you only got 1 wide receiver left, on the sideline. So if anybody get hurt, it might throw a wrench in your plan. So I feel like that the Eagles will have 6 wide receivers to start off the season.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that trade to happen. If we bring in another guy, I mean, there's been so many pieces that have been let go. I can't even keep up with it. I just feel like it's time to add another piece in.
Yeah, look, with this list up there, all right. So the release players, like they said, hey, there's no way of them trying to be on the practice squad. So the wave players have a better chance of coming back to the practice squad. So what was your most shocking release on this list right here?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the release list, like people.
Well, the whole list, the release and the wave list.
Well, let's see. I thought, I thought Tua Peta, he was getting some. People were trying to, I heard some people were trying to trade for Tua, but let's see. The most shocking. I'm not really. I'm looking at it. I'm really not shocked at anyone who got released. No.
Whoa.
But if you go Jordan Howard,
Yes.
you go Richard Rodgers. I think Jordan Howard is on like a hey, we'll bring you back because if Jordan Howard is telling you pre getting signed that he thought this was his last ride, hurrah or whatever, there's a potential that you can get him back, and just like hey, we're gonna bring you back. Don't worry about it. We're just trying to again not the final 53. Same with Richard Rodgers. Those two guys are guys that were like, hey, not the final 53, so just bear with us. We'll bring you on back. But overall, just looking at the rest of the guys, I'm not surprised at any. Like Jacoby Stevens, injury, dealt with the injury. So when it comes to that, like hopefully you can bring him back to the practice squad. It is what it is. I know Andre Patton was showing something at the end, but again, I'm seeing all these guys get released. There's guys out there that you can bring in.
Yeah.
So I mean Huntley flashed, showed some stuff as a kick returner, but did he show enough to be unseat Kenny Gainwell or Boston Scott? Like he didn't flash like that. And then Huntley got injured as well. Another guy that dealt with injuries. If you didn't get injured, maybe we would have 5 running backs. 4 running backs. Or I still think Jordan Howard comes back. So overall, I'm not really surprised, man. Like none of these players have done anything consistent for me to be like, Craig James, another guy who's been a special
Mhm.
teams ace, again, dealt with injuries. So like I could see why Matt Leo he'll be on the practice squad as a foreign player, so you can protect him as well. So yeah, man, I'm not.
Yeah.
Who got you surprised? Was it Jordan Howard?
Well, the Jordan Howard definitely it got me surprised. And right now we got three backs right now.
Yeah,
So I
we
mean,
good. There's another guy coming. Come on.
well, that's what I'm saying. So right now, nobody's seen the Jordan Howard release, especially after we lost Karen Johnson. So we lost him. We was like, okay, hey, we good. Our four backs will be Sanders, Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Jordan Howard.
Yeah,
That was our four. I mean, everybody was saying it. Nobody was saying, after the Johnson injury that Howard was going to be gone. Because we thought that they was going to keep four.
But if you got a friendship deal with Jordan Howard, like, look, just chill, bro. We'll bring you back. Like, and you have that kind of relationship, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, look, hey, Richard Rodgers, hey, we use him every year. Hey, ain't nobody gonna. Hey, this year might be different though because this is a lot of tight ends.
You think Jordan Howard's not gonna like some other team's gonna claim him?
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you know that, you're good. Like if Jordan Howard.
It still was shocking to me that they released him because now a Jackson is on the 52 million roster. He's hurt, and then somebody else is hurt on the 52 million roster. Yeah. So now tomorrow, Tyree Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So now tomorrow, they can move those guys onto the IR and then try to bring some guys back. But I mean, you rolling the dice here on losing Fulgham, on losing.
I'm telling you, man, if Fulgham has not showed you enough, like at this point in time, he's had every opportunity to show out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that telling you if he's not showing out in these opportunities? Like, this is your career on the line as an Eagle is like on the line. So if you're not showing out in this, like it's put up or shut up, bro. Like if you're not putting up right now, and hey man, it is what it is. People, I know the 4-game stretch. It's just you gotta give
number
one
one wide receiver, the number one. But how much opportunity did he have though? Because Alshon Jeffries was in the mix, and that's what I can't blame it on Fulgham because he even said it. He said when Jeffrey came back, I knew my spot. I knew my situation. I knew my position. So I took the bench. So
17 practices and 3 preseason games.
But wasn't he? He on COVID list to start or hurt?
Well, I mean, he had 17 practices in 3 preseason games, and he was left in the preseason. When you see a guy left in the 4th quarter of a preseason game, that tells you exactly where the team feels about you. The game before that, he didn't even play the first half. He got that tells you everything. You're either in the doghouse or you're inside the house, and he was in the doghouse, and that just shows you. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So he's obviously doing something on the inside internally that they don't like and they don't appreciate.
Hey, I mean, and that's true. So our 53-man roster is set. I mean, I know you said there might be some things in the work. I do too, by the way. I think that this is not set at all. Like the next 2 weeks, even it might be shocking to some people. I really feel like that we might grab another wide receiver for sure, and we might cut Joe Flacco. I think that Joe Flacco might get cut, because we got Minshew. The more he start learning the playbook, the better fit he is for the Philadelphia Eagles. So why keep a veteran like Joe Flacco? If Cam Newton could get cut, hey, Joe Flacco could definitely get cut.
AK Joe Flacco is probably vaccinated. Hey, it's the little things like you got to be dependable, man.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, it's like, yo, are you going to be available? We cannot have you miss like 10 games. You gotta do everything you need to be doing, and I don't need you to be writing in wingding font when you send me a note, okay? I just think Andy Weidel knows everything about. These are all why is Joe Flacco here? Probably because with his relations with Andy Weidel, like that's the guy he saw win a Super Bowl with. You brought him here for a reason. Obviously, he's a veteran. I think it's going to take some time. Like he knows the offense. Like Minshew's just in here, just got here. So you're holding on to Flacco, and it is what it is for now.
So who's on the 53-man roster that you was like, I don't know how he made it, or like, or do you love our 53-man rosters for now?
Just looking at the offensive line, all those guys have been like looking at them closely. So none of those guys, I know there was an offer for Nate Herbig, but the Eagles turned that down.
Oh wow, really?
So Brett Toth, the guy that you saw, Brett Toth getting those left tackle snaps. Like because I was like going over this line depth chart, intently yesterday because I got word that the Eagles were going to make a trade with the for offensive line. The Colts were going to make a trade for an offensive lineman. So I'm sitting here like, all right, who would make it make sense? Then you look back at then I was
Andre Dillard.
Yeah, I was thinking Andre Dillard, but maybe the deal didn't make sense. And then I heard that Matt Pryor teams were looking to trade, an AFC team was looking to trade for Matt Pryor. So then you look at the Frank Reich relation with Matt Pryor. Then I was like, all right, well, maybe it could be the Colts. And then today it happened. So, looking over at this list, you saw Toth get left tackle snaps, and you can move him around. So, I mean, that group pretty much, Jack Driscoll, swing ability, Andre Dillard, still potential. You can move him maybe. Overall, let's see. I think the linebacker group, 7 linebackers, to me, that's too many.
That's a lot. Oh,
so
yeah, that's a lot.
That means someone could potentially get moved here. Jannard Avery, teams have been calling about him as well. I think Josiah Scott made a real big push at the end to make this group. I still think there's a move that could be made. What's his name? Quandry? I heard the Eagles were in on.
Oh, shoot, man. I ain't heard nothing about the Eagles and being on nothing but wide receiver and quarterback. Those are the 2 main positions. And then I heard over the past couple of days that the linebackers, like the Eagles was looking at, trying to trade one of our linebackers.
Quentin Dunbar is the cornerback who I heard the Eagles were
Quentin Dunbar. Oh,
yeah. Also a guy who played with Darius Slay as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, that looking at that group, I can see a guy getting added to that group. If Josiah Scott is the guy still, if you want to add someone else in there that could take his spot. Let's see. Our defensive line going to eat. Marlon Tuipulotu. I thought he was a guy that,
I'm shocked he made it though. Like, there's a couple teams. I'm like, whoa. There's a couple players. I'm like, damn, he made it. I'm like, okay.
A lot of beats said that he didn't show enough. So if you're looking at draft stock and they're like, they don't want to cut their draft players if they think that he's a guy that they can develop, so be it. I mean, because you're looking at Jacoby Stevens getting cut. So if like they felt like they couldn't develop him, or you just thought your linebacker group in terms of like what they brought to the table that they didn't think, you know what I mean? Like Alex Singleton and Eric Wilson have been played have been great. Davion Taylor, if he's a guy that they still want to develop, and he's the a guy that they feel like can give you valuable snaps. Where does Jacoby stand in terms of
safety? That's
no,
where I thought that he was going to be on the team because we're so thin at safety, especially with McLeod coming off injury. Like literally,
I take another safety. I'm still looking. I'm working the back end of the safety group and looking for another safety. Rodney McLeod coming back. And then like Landon Dickerson when they brought them back to the 53, that I was just like, oh man, all those bubble guys are like, damn, I'm out of here. So I guess
they already knew that.
I guess Adams was a guy that
Andrew Adams, he got cut. He gone.
Like I was, Epps special teams. Wallace has been injured, but how they feel about Wallace.
He's still got a groin issue, by the way, Wallace. So he's not even been practicing yet. So, and that's what I'm saying. We play next weekend. Not this weekend coming up, but next weekend we play a game. So is McLeod going to be out there?
They said they're not going to rush. They said they're not going to rush him back.
That's what I'm saying. So like I think Stevens was like, come on, man. Hey, just keep him.
Hey, but he's also injured too. You have to be. Remember, he got injured. Also, he came back from injury. Then he seemed like he got injured in the Jets game. Remember when he came off the field?
Yeah, I mean,
I see that those are areas that you can. I'm looking around the league for back end of the wide receiver, like one wide receiver.
Yeah,
I'm looking at safety, and I'm looking at back end of the cornerbacks.
Yeah, those are the three positions. Yeah,
and then also think about some of these guys. One of these guys could be trade bait. Again, like I just said, Zach Ertz. Like I know that word was the Jets were interested in Ertz. They were sniffing around, but then the Jets just made a trade for the Vikings are trading a 4th round pick to the Jets for tight end Chris Herndon.
Wait, like right now?
This happened probably a couple. Yeah, so the Vikings just traded for a tight end, Chris Herndon.
Man.
Yo, and a 6th round pick.
Yo, and he good too. I mean, he's a young stud. Yes, he was hurt last year, but when he played, he reminded me of like a young, fast Hernandez, but not as talented. But I'm just saying that he could really play. So, Zach Hurst is out of that picture.
Well, I mean, who's the Jets tight end right now?
Shoot, man, they picked up one in free agency though.
Oh, did they?
I forgot his name. Yeah, they did pick up one. But look, I'm surprised the Eagles kept 10 offensive line, and then what? Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 defensive line. Like, we are so heavy. So that's 19 out of 53 is in the trenches. And so to me, they're saying, hey, look, we don't trust our guys, and staying healthy throughout the whole year. So we're gonna keep a lot more interior guys than
I'm good with it, man. Like you got old. I mean, from right tackle to left tackle. I mean, right tackle to center. You're talking about the 30-30 club. So I mean, when you're in your 30s, you gotta expect injuries. Lane Johnson just talked about swelling that he's having in his ankle still.
Oh no.
So I mean, that's just a thing that happens. So I mean, it is what it is. You're talking about the guys that got valuable snaps last year. You talk about Driscoll got valuable snaps. Herbie got valuable snaps. I think who else? Heard a rumor that JJ bribed Jeffrey Learn to release. Like it's like I've seen Eagle fans like freak out, man, all the time about so pissed off that I'm like, do you understand what it's like? Fulgham he had the clear runway for him to make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So don't be mad at the Eagles. Be mad at Fulgham for not showing out. Like, I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at you like angry dad right now because I'm disappointed dad, not angry because, I know it hurts for you, but yo, you had every opportunity to make this team, and with Devontae Smith going out, and Devontae Smith, I saw what I saw of Devontae Smith in joint practices with the Jets
Mhm.
was amazing. No one could cover, bruh. And I don't release all the stuff that I was filming, like, because I don't want to, like, I'm sitting there like taking clips of everything. I mean, what I saw from Devontae Smith, and he's only been there a couple games, and one game and a practice that I got to see in person. He wasn't there for the Patriots, but he
Mhm.
showed out. And then Fulgham, he made a nice catch. But did he flash like I wanted him flash, especially in
Mhm.
preseason games? No, he didn't.
Okay, so hey, since you saw the wide receiver core up close and personal, what do you think about our wide receiver core with Smith and Quez being upgraded to the first team now, and then Rager? I mean, how do you feel about our wide receiver core?
I'm feeling, I call them the young guns, but man, they're ready to like go out there and fire away. Like there's a level of confidence amongst this group that has, you talk about a guy who's flashed not only in like practices with the coaches there, the beats there. He flashed in open practice with the fans. He flashed in joint practices. Time and time again, flashed on in preseason. So to tell me that this is what I was looking for from Fulgham, we got it in Quez. Quez flashed,
Yes.
and he has a level of confidence, a quiet confidence. I got to meet a lot of the guys at the Eagles Autism Challenge. Got to speak with Devontae Smith for a quick second about just praising him on his routes. And these guys are young. I met Rager as well. Got to see all of them, and just the level of confidence I have in this group as younger guys. I'm more surprised than I am of how confident I feel about them now. Like I feel like Rager has he's going to be utilized correctly. You talk about the
Mhm.
one hand grabs he's had. You talk about the coaching points that he's he's vibed with the coach.
Mhm.
Sirianni talking about the jab step as a basketball player. I literally saw it with my own eyes as I'm filming a rep when he's throwing the double jab step and creating separation. He just got he just got talked to by Sirianni about, look, guys, you got to separate. This is how you separate. And he just did it. And you see that clip where Fulgham catches the ball in the end zone, and who's yelling
Yes.
from like 40 yards out? It's Sirianni. He's like, drag. Like the little things about dragging your feet.
Mhm.
You might have a nice grab here, but you got to drag your feet. So again, um, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, all
Oof.
flashed.
All right,
They all
so
flashed.
all right. What was your record prediction before you saw this training camp, and now that after you saw training camp, what is your record prediction for this team? Like, I'm interested to know.
I mean, I was at like a 9-8, and now
Okay.
I'm still kind of like at a like I could see them being a 10-17.
Hey, look, hey, the
Like
Philadelphia Eagle fans will go crazy if we win 10 games. Yo, Jaylen Hurst is getting signed to a franchise deal. Yo, we building a Super Bowl team next year, $40+ million in cap space. We going to the chip next year.
but like if that in terms of what I saw from solely from the defensive line,
Mm-hmm.
that's where like that's where I was like, bro, this
Yes.
defensive line could actually create pressure. Josh Sweat's been animal. Um,
Yes.
every team's had issues with our defensive line. I feel like we're almost too deep. Milton Williams is a
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as too deep. The year we won the Super Bowl, hey, we
Hey,
had packages.
yo, we got Kerrigan, who is he's an afterthought with Eagle fans right now because they just haven't seen enough of him right now. But he's an afterthought, and he's a low key guy that's really gonna do work. Milton Williams, country strong, like can he's versatile, can move around.
Yeah.
Sweat is like contract year. Like this is contract year. This is when he knows he knows.
Sweat. Yeah.
Barnett has had a good camp too, and Fletcher Cox is still Fletcher Cox.
Who's starting?
Hargrave
on the D line.
You got Hargrave, Cox, you got Graham, and then Sweat.
What Barnett is rotating in.
Yeah, and then you got Kerrigan off the top rope, and then you got Milton Williams doing this thing. You could also move in NASCAR package with Graham and Milton Williams.
I like it.
I mean, I'm telling you, like that's where I feel confident. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but during the Super Bowl year, when I saw the defensive line, that's where I was like, bro, this defensive line could do some things. So, overall, you saw Alex Singleton, you saw Wilson run it around. I think the way this defense is set up, it's going to let them flourish and run. They were all over the place. I just think Nelson is a bit of an upgrade, but he's been getting cooked a little bit.
That's my word right there.
A little bit.
Nelson. Yo, I haven't heard about Slay getting cooked. I mean, besides that one time from Aguilar, and then he dropped the ball anyway. But but Nelson, ever since he's been with the Philadelphia Eagles, our savior, our CB2, we all was waiting for him, has been getting cooked a lot. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Nelson this, Nelson that. I'm like, golly, man, like. Is he the answer? Like, or
I think he's a reliable, and I think they have been playing zone. Zach McPherson, when I was at the joint practice, he was getting cooked. He was getting picked on in the preseason game, getting picked on. Obviously, they're playing a lot of zone. So I saw I put a video out there on Twitter. Elijah Moore, running a post corner on Steven Nelson. And if I'm, I play receiver. If I see zone and I'm running a post corner,
easy.
That's an easy open. Like if I'm getting pressed, it's a different story. But he did get crossed over nicely. I mean, overall, I just feel like Nelson, he's serviceable to me. Like we've seen where play.
So basically, is our defensive line getting pressure, hitting a quarterback, or we're the same as last year, getting cooked on the corner?
No, I think it's like I think you're going to see pre-snap movement. I think that's something. I don't think that's something that they're really showing right now, and we didn't even get into the blitz packages that we might see.
Yeah.
At the Eagles Autism Challenge, all the fans might like go towards like the players and stuff. I'm looking for the coaches, so I got to meet Coach Gannon, and when I talk about the presence he has and what he's applied, like even just talk about the hits principle, his guys running to the football, creating turnovers. You saw like Jacoby Stevens and Michael Jacquet run to the football, make a play, strip the ball, and turn that into this is talking about what he's applying, and just the fact that he has a good presence. Hopefully, he's going to do different things. You talk about Schwartz being found out a little bit. A lot of people, a lot of players are saying that Schwartz, doesn't, he's very predictable. Bird gang out here. Randall, Randall.
He's a fan. Look. He's a fan before a content creator.
They got that lean. They serve up that lean in Alabama.
Yeah, but all right. So just two more questions. I know you have a fantasy draft at 7, but real quick, our defense, top 10, top 15. What do you see our defense doing? And and our offensive line, because I've seen a couple times that if they were allowed to tackle the quarterback, these throws that Jaylen Hurst was making, he probably would not make them because they probably would at least dove on him, push him, or something, or tackle him. So those are the two things that I'm dying to know because you was there live in person.
I had a couple throws that I caught on camera where the one he threw up to Dallas Goedert, could a guy gotten there? Maybe, but at the end of the day, you're looking at it's a controlled environment. He still made a dime of a throw in the breadbasket. Perfect throw. I felt like what you want from Jaylen Hurts is to trust the pocket. They say trust the process. I think we want to see him trust the pocket a little bit before without utilizing his mobility. But, you can't take that away from him. 1,300 yards rushed at Oklahoma in that 1 year. He's got that ability. So I'm not, I'm not worried about that. But the moves that I like to see him when you step up into the pocket and deliver. We've seen him deliver with the barrel in his face when Alshon Jeffrey hit the back shoulder on a Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah. So I'm not saying he can't do it. I just want to continue to develop there. But I feel like what I've seen from Jaylen over this, like off season, I'm color me impressed. Now we're at the next step.
Yes.
I am driving down to Atlanta to see it in person. So putting my money where my mouth is. I'm trusting the process.
Okay.
So what it
Philly
takes to
always trusting the process in Philly, man.
So overall, I'm excited, man. Not as excited as Randall in Alabama.
So in our defensive,
top 10,
top
10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Okay, all right, I like it, man. I like it. Hey, one last question for you, though. Who gets traded? I need some shocking news. We do not see coming right now. Everybody say a 53-man roster is. What would be the most shocking trade or release in the next 12 days? Really?
I just.
I'm trying to dig, man. I'm trying to dig.
I just have to go. It's not. You've heard it all before, but I think Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
It just the way it looks. It just doesn't. It looks like, he's played well. He's had a great camp.
Yes, he has.
I mean that retains the value. It also, to me, I think if teams come looking, and what I was hearing was Green Bay was sniffing, Cardinals sniffing, and the Jets sniffing. If you, I don't know. And then the Christian Kirk. That's what I kept on hearing. Christian Kirk from the Cardinals. If us trading for him.
But who would we get rid of for Kirk? I mean, because Zach Hurst, we could picks.
And then I heard Eagles had interest in Hicks, but if he is released.
Hicks. Yeah. Oh yeah. I would love Hicks back.
At a low cost too. He's playing at around 2.5. I think he got he renegotiated his deal. So I mean, he's been a huge part of the Eagles' last couple. I mean, Eagle fans, even though it's on the wall, if he gets traded, people will still be surprised after such a great camp. And he's built rapport with Hurts. It's not. Yes. This is kind of like after practice.
Yes. Yeah.
Vibes. You know what I mean? So they've been out there putting in work. So I'd love to see him stay.
Yeah. At least to the trade deadline, though. Because if you keep him to a trade deadline and then you see where your team is at, then you could just trade him right now because this playoff team that needs a tight end, we might get more for him than now.
Hey man, when players start going down and you need a tight end, Ertz is everything and more you could ask for.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a playoff, contender.
Yeah.
Like, he's seen it all, been there. Even though that he's not a yakker, he's not Yak Hurts. He's a guy that
Yeah.
separates with like solid route running. So
Yeah. It does. Hey, look, man. Look, I appreciate you coming on. Hey, for all you that don't know who this is one of the best content creators on the net right now. You know what I mean? Yo, he's with Fourth and John. His website is right here. His link is also below. But once again, man, hey, just let them know, hey, who you are and where they could find you at.
Just the Eagles content creator, just like y'all are doing the work out here. My squad out here, Fourth and John. There's a lot of great team members. You can hit us at Fourth and John on all socials. If you're looking to tailgate, we also tailgate down to the link every home game. We do travel, so you might see me anywhere the Eagles are. I'm trying to be at. So it's always great reporting on the Eagles, but when you're there live and experiencing the whole environment, that's where it's at. And getting to talk to all these different Eagles content creators, talking to the beat writers, and just getting intel. Because at the end of the day, it's really about just listen to the little bits of intel that you get and trying to make sense of everything. Because right now it's on and popping, man. There's so much news out there.
Yeah.
We'll finally get to that probably 53-man roster in a couple of days. So everybody, just take a nice Aaron Rodgers relax.
Relax.
We're getting there. Okay.
All right. Look, I appreciate you, man. Hey, and you already know, Jesse Eagles on all social media, besides Facebook, but on Instagram, YouTube, and Instagram, YouTube. Hey, look, hey, you can find me there, and Twitter on JC Eagles. But hey, as always, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and thank you for being here and supporting me. As always, go Birds.